Bong Joon-ho's Mickey 17 released its first trailer. We found out that 28 years later used an iPhone to film the entire movie. We interviewed Todd Phillips for Joker 2. And we got first news of Black Mirror Season 7's updates. Let's get into this week's movie news.
What's up, movie friends? Welcome back to Raiders of the Lost Podcast, the ultimate film and TV podcast. We have so much to talk about in this weekly episode of Movie News. Again, this is the weekly episode where we discuss all of the news stories. We watch all the trailers. We mine the internet for everything that's happening in the film and TV world, so you don't have to. You don't have to browse the internet. You don't have to read all the articles. Just sit back, relax, and listen to us tell you about what's happening in the film world.
With our soothing voices. Thanks, Anthony.
James looks great in this cowboy hat.
Oh, Cowboy James is out today, man.
Cowboy James. There's a lot of trailers that came out this past week, which I'm really excited to chat about. We got news about Gladiator 3. The Batman 2 script is finished. But first, let's get into this week's box office. James, take it away.
So Transformers 1 just came out this weekend. We did a private screening. It's a cool film. I enjoyed it a lot. However, it's up in the air whether or not it can even take the first place at the box office, with Beetlejuice 2 performing pretty well in its third weekend. Transformers 1 is projected to hit about $25 to $27 million its opening weekend. Kind of a low performer for animated films because they've been such big hits this year at the box office. Now, Transformers 1 earned $9.5 million in the film's domestic opening day on Thursday. Now, it's estimated, like I said, only about 25 to 27 on a budget of $75 million. So we'll see whether or not it can take that top spot. Projections are so close right now, we might not know until Monday, everybody.
And Beetlejuice had a great second weekend.
Third weekend, yeah. Because it dropped to under $20 million in its second weekend last week, remember? Mm-hmm. But now it's back up to $25 million at the box office domestically. So Beetlejuice has a great word of mouth in its third weekend, going up, which is pretty interesting to see.
And Transformers is usually a billion-dollar franchise. It's just evidence that, live action generally will always perform better than animated. Generally.
Yeah.
Inside Out 2, obviously, Super Mario Bros., but also you look at the difference here, but then Spider-Verse movies, they don't do as well as Spider-Man movies,
they
live
get pretty
actions.
Close to like $700-800 million.
Yeah, but they never hit $1 billion. So there is something where animated IPs, if it's already been live action, generally doesn't do as well.
Speak No Evil had a great second weekend, coming off an incredible first weekend. Second weekend for the domestic box office for this Blumhouse horror film starring James McAvoy pulled in $6 million. Again, the budget on this film was, 15?
Yeah.
It pulled $12 million domestic its opening weekend last week. So already Blumhouse is probably in the green on this movie, just sitting pretty with a great and healthy box office on another low-budget horror hit from that fantastic studio. Deadpool and Wolverine just won't let go of $4 million at the domestic box office. Never let go. Roughly around the same $4.5 million at the box office. And The Substance, the big hits at, Cannes Film Festival, winning Best Screenplay there, pulled in $2.6 million at its opening weekend at about 50% release in terms of number of theaters in the United States, over 2,000.
They were hoping for $5 million. That's what they were aiming for, so it was a low return. It had a decent Thursday night. However, it doesn't look like crowds came in all over the country at all. So outside of New York and LA, it didn't perform that well. This is, again, a Mubi release. So Mubi, which is a great app. It'll be a centerpiece for their streaming service once the theatrical runs up. I didn't expect this movie to make that much. It was a good time. I recommend anyone who's fans of body horror to check it out. It's a pretty fun time. But yeah, The Substance was a little bit of a lower performer for what they wanted.
And then just to cap off the news for the box office, Borderlands.
Yikes.
Ended its theatrical run with only $31 million at the box office on a budget of $115 million. I thought it was $150.
I guess it must be 115.
I guess it was just 150. I thought
maybe they lowered it to be less embarrassed.
120, something like that. But still, really huge box office budget for a tiny box office comparatively. Meaning the studio lost easily $100 million in this movie after splitting sales for tickets with movie theaters because again, movie theaters don't play movies for fun. They make a cut of ticket sales, everybody. So factor that in. This movie lost the studio $100 million, easy peasy.
More than that, because if it made 30 mil, then the studio made 15. But the budget, add $50 million marketing, that's $160 million budget. So it lost about 130 million.
Borderlands is what lighting money on fire looks like.
All the John Wick money, they just torched it, man. They torched it. Oh my God. But
a rough year.
Let's get into the news this week. And the biggest story was a trailer for a film that many people have been dying to see. They finally released the trailer for Mickey 17, Bong Joon-ho's highly anticipated follow-up to Parasite, starring Robert Pattinson and an ensemble cast of excellent actors in this sci-fi comedy. This is a fantastic trailer. It's a fun tone. This story, it's a book if you want to read it, called Mickey 7. It's hilarious. It's insightful. Has a lot of complexities to it, but it's all around a really fun read, and I think he captured the spirit of the novel perfectly just from this trailer.
I cannot wait. And Robert Pattinson's accent in this film is incredible. I didn't recognize his voice at all when they were doing the voiceover of Mickey in the film, in the trailer. I was like, is this even Robert Pattinson speaking? His accent's so incredible, so unique. It's sort of the city accent of a city that doesn't exist right now, because this movie obviously takes place in the future. It's a book we cannot recommend enough. The book's called Mickey 7. We did a huge breakdown on the trailer on Patreon of a Mickey 17 breakdown. But I'm very excited about this film. One of my favorite books I've read in recent years. It's an excellent read. Great science fiction concept and story. Lots of great humor sprinkled in there with many dark themes and elements that Bong Joon-ho, I think, is just going to tackle so well with his brilliant voice and filmmaking, because, you know, he hasn't made a movie theatrically released since Parasite in 2019. And Mickey 17 comes out in January 31st, 2025. So it's going to be 6 years almost until Bong Joon-ho's next film is released after Parasite. So we're waiting a long time for this incredible filmmaker who just got a handful of Oscars for the Parasite in his latest film. I think it's an excellent choice for him to make this movie, because he's dabbled in science fiction as well as great stories that delve into themes about humanity, social ideas, social hierarchies, environmentalism. This is all coming to play here. And then with a lead, Robert Pattinson, playing a guy who's with a duplicate, this is going to be an incredible movie. I think he's the perfect director to do this. I cannot wait for Mickey 17.
It's going to be epic.
It absolutely is.
There's another trailer from another acclaimed director who also recently had a Best Picture winning film. Steve McQueen has launched a trailer for Blitz, starring Saoirse Ronan. And this is about the Blitz onslaught in London, and a woman who is separated from her child. Saoirse Ronan will play the woman in the lead of the film. It looks incredible. It looks like a great war movie. It's a story that we never really see in World War II movies from this perspective in this part of the city and this specific night, which was a horrible moment of mayhem that everybody dealt with in that area. I think this is a really primed film that could be a huge Oscar contender. Cinematography looks outstanding. Saoirse Ronan looks amazing, like she always does. The production design, everything about it looks really fantastic. And Steve McQueen, like Bong Joon-ho, really is one of the best directors working today, even though he hasn't gotten too much attention lately. His last theatrical release was Widows, and he did a bunch of films for Amazon Prime after that one. But this looks like it's going to be a big coming out party for him to remind everybody, like, yo, I'm the man. I'm Steve McQueen. I made 12 Years a Slave. I'm one of the best directors there is.
When was the last time there was a movie about the Blitz, the London Blitz?
I don't know.
Because the movie takes place in one night, but obviously the Blitz lasted several months of the bombings of London. And, you know, the stories about that era and that time where everyone's trying to live their lives as normally as possible, but with the understanding that at any moment a bomb could drop on a church or a bomb could drop on a street anywhere. So I think it's a great setting for a great dramatic film. Looks incredible. And obviously Saoirse, I think she's going to have a huge year because she has this movie, but then she has that independent film that she's also starring in that's coming up pretty soon. I can't remember what it's called. I saw a poster for it.
What's it about?
I don't know. It's just an independent film. But it looks like a great poster. It's a poster where she's sort of just dancing in the air. Her hair is like flailing. But it looks, I mean, Saoirse Ronan's there. So I'll be seated.
Oh, The Outrun.
The Outrun.
She plays an alcoholic in that film.
Yeah.
That's definitely ripe for like getting an Oscar nomination
for sure.
It's a good trailer. It's a nice dramatic trailer. I haven't seen a movie about alcoholism in a while.
Yeah, I mean, The Way Back was probably the last one that was pretty prominent. The Ben Affleck one, which was excellent. But yeah, alcoholism used to be a huge topic.
It was a trend.
In Hollywood, a lot of movies about
There's the
alcohol.
OCD trend, and then there's the alcoholism trend.
The OCD trend. Oh my god.
From 96 to 2005, every major actor played an OCD character at one point. It was like the role to do. It was such a trend.
Yeah, it
and
absolutely was.
Then it was the connected stories, and then comic books took over. So those are the trends of Hollywood.
There's always a trend. Well, we have something really cool that we got to participate in this morning. The other night, we got to see a very early screening of Joker 2. Thank you to Warner Brothers for the invitation. And we also got to interview writer-director Todd Phillips for about 10 minutes. We recorded the interview this morning at the press junkets.
They came to our house.
Todd Phillips came with bagels. And we got to interview him, and it was a really cool conversation. You know, they shepherd you around here and there to different rooms, then you finally get to chat with the talent, whoever it is. And very fortunate, very privileged to be able to have a conversation with the filmmaker. And Todd Phillips, someone whose movies we've been watching since we were kids. Old school, the Hangover trilogy, War Dogs is excellent. Joker, obviously, is a magnetic film. Joker 2 is outstanding. We can't recommend it enough. It doesn't come out till October 4th. And we'll keep you posted on when we get to post the interview that we did. And I'm sure we'll be able to hopefully combine it with one of our podcast episodes. If not, we'll just release it as its own thing. But it was such an incredible experience. He's a very down-to-earth guy, very happy to talk with us. He was very kind and with his time and everything, and I love chatting with him.
He was a nice guy. We also saw Brendan Gleeson, who stared right at James and said hi. Mad Eye Moody said hi to you.
I didn't realize it was him at first.
We were just sitting in a hallway in the hotel, and then he just comes out of the room.
Well, there were whispers. We were like, oh, he's coming. Is he coming? And I'm like, what's going on?
I thought they meant Todd Phillips.
Me too.
It was Brendan Gleeson.
Yeah, Brendan Gleeson comes out of the room, looks right at me, hi, and then walks away. And I was like, oh my God, Brendan Gleeson! And he was with us. He brought his dog to the junket, which is cute. He had a little white, curly little dog, this little chow. But man, he looks good.
He looks great.
My fucking hell, man. Brendan Gleeson
He's
looked
tall.
me in the eyes. He's
pretty
probably
tall.
like 5'10", 11.
He looked over 6 feet.
Did he? I don't know. I was sitting down.
He looked very tall. He
Shoes.
towered over everyone.
I guess.
Yeah.
I feel like he didn't look as tall as I thought he would, though.
No, I think he looked taller. I think he looked very tall because he's much taller than Colin Farrell in the films they've been together.
Yeah, no, but Colin
much
Farrell's
taller.
not that tall of a guy.
Yeah, but I'm saying he's much taller than him.
But I'm just saying, I get to have a perspective, Anthony.
Yeah.
My perspective is he looks shorter than I thought he would, but he's still tall. He's like, because so many actors are pretty short. Mm-hmm. But I thought he was taller in person based off because he started.
I thought he was properly tall. From what I've.
Anyways, let's stop talking about how tall Brendan Gleeson is in person. But it was so cool. Brendan Gleeson in person looked me in the eyes, man. I think this is probably what my face looked like. I said hi back, but I was like, oh, hi.
He's 6'1".
Yeah, pretty tall guy.
6'1", yeah.
Yeah, pretty tall guy. But stay tuned for our interview once that gets released, once we get permission to post it. We don't know exactly when we can.
Probably very soon.
Yeah, but it was really
see.
exciting, and hopefully we get to do more stuff like that because it was one of my favorite things we've gotten to be a part of.
All right, let's break down the most divisive bit of news that's come out this week. It was revealed, and I didn't know this until you posted it, 28 days later.
28 years later.
28 years later, which is currently filming and in production, is being filmed on an iPhone 15 Pro Max with some very hefty attachments.
Attachments, quotation marks, cinema lenses.
It will be the biggest film ever shot on an iPhone, or any phone in general. Steven Soderbergh has famously shot on iPhones multiple times in the past. This is really cool. I saw, based in the comments, there's a lot of divisiveness. Here's the thing. Danny Boyle made 28 Days Later in HD with DV cameras.
Yeah, he was using the Canon, I think it was XL1s, and they had a resolution under 720p.
And the sensor was tiny. When you watch 28 Days Later, that's the one con to it is that it hasn't aged well. If you put it on a big TV, it's pretty pixely. And just the quality of the color, the dynamic range, the contrast, it's just not there. The information, it wasn't that much, but he did it, and it was so cool when it came out.
It works.
It works.
Looks good.
It does work. So, I don't think it's that crazy that he's shooting this on an iPhone because the iPhone 15 is leagues better than the Canon cameras he was using for 28 Days Later.
Yeah, but the thing with it, I was thinking about this. As soon as I found out, I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
I think it's an awesome idea because it really connects it to the first film. 28 weeks late. I mean, 28, is it weeks or months later? 28 weeks
20
later.
weeks.
It's a pretty good movie. Not perfect. It's not the original. The original is one of the best zombie movies or virus movies of all time. And what I love about the camera quality in that film is it sort of grounds it to that era. It grounds it to the world when it came out. And I think that the iPhone 15 is a smart decision to use because it grounds our reality here in this movie just like it did back then. And when you look back on that film 20 years later, you kind of feel like you're in that era, that world, the early 2000s, late 90s. And I think that in 20 years, we'll look back on 28 years later being shot on an iPhone 15 and we'll be able to feel the feeling of an iPhone because obviously they're putting cinema cameras on there.
It's going to look awesome.
It's going to look incredible.
It's not going to look like you're filming it in your backyard.
But I think there's something to using lower tech in terms of, not lower tech, but obviously the iPhone 15 is a magnificent piece of machinery. But when it comes to video cameras and digital cameras and film cameras, what you can use, I think it's cool because it really puts this movie directly like in this timeline we're in right now. And it cements it here. And I think it'll make it age really well, if that makes sense, because of that.
Sure.
And I mean, we look at so much content every day on iPhones for the most part. Most of us use iPhones in America. And Androids too, like the similar quality sensors and video sensors. We're looking at so much video every day shot with smartphones. Why not do it with a movie? Because it connects us, I think, to this grounded feeling of reality because maybe it'll transport us into the world a little better and make it bring more realism to it, if that makes sense.
But also, I mean, it's high quality. In Apple ads have shown that you can make very cinematic pieces with it. Damien Chazelle made a couple of short films for Apple to market the 13, I think, and they looked great. Like he did a Western, he did an action movie, if I remember correctly, and they looked awesome. And I mean, again, lenses are so important to the quality of a film production, where if you're using great glass, that's just going to make it look even better. Like, this is not going to look like they're just pointing and shooting. Like, they are strapping on incredible pieces of glass onto these lenses, onto these cameras. So it's going to look cinematic. It's just, he's using the iPhone. I think it's ease of use, it's transportability. And just like with the digital cameras he used in the first film, being able to put them anywhere. I'm sure he wants to do the same thing with this film. And really, you can do anything with an iPhone and strap it on anything.
Yeah,
and
it's so light that imagine the kinds of shots they can get with an iPhone because it weighs less than a pound. Then you put the glass on it, it's probably like 30 pounds now or maybe a little heavier compared to a freaking 200-pound camera package and everything like that. But
they didn't get an Amazon random company with a tiny little lens for your phone on it that you can twist onto your phone cover. That's not the lens they're using.
It's a good lens.
They're using nice lenses.
Yes, I'm very curious. I think it's going to work really well, and I'm very excited about this film. We saw some behind-the-scenes photos of Aaron Taylor Johnson, but also some new behind-the-scenes photos of Jodie Comer, who's one of the leads as well, who looks like she's been through the ringer, as well as what I'm assuming are her young boys. One of them has a bow and arrow, which is really cool, connecting to The Last of Us and sort of a survivalist element to this world.
Yeah, I like it. It was like teenage boys who were like probably grew up being soldiers and fighters.
Survivors.
Survive. Speaking of behind-the-scenes photos, real quick, there are behind-the-scenes photos of Happy Gilmore 2.
No,
and you can see Adam Sandler in costume as Happy, and I think it just feels right.
Should I not look at this because I remember you telling me about this the other day?
I would say it's not. I mean, the trailer's going to come out. You're going to see it eventually. I'm glad I saw it because it got me excited.
Okay, I want to look at it.
I got
right
excited.
now.
I'll describe it. He's wearing sunglasses. He's got bathrobes on. He's got his clubs, and he looks like he lives in a suburban area. But it seems like that's what Happy would wear. These kinds of it just feels right. It feels like him, if that makes sense. Like 30 years later, or almost 40 years later, actually. But I think the photos got.
Oh yeah, that's perfect.
It's like
it looks like the dude.
It's a perfect look for like what an old Happy would be like
with a beard. Looks like Lebowski, honestly.
Yeah, absolutely.
But honestly, that could just be what Sandler wore to set that day.
No, he's not wearing basketball shorts, bro.
He wears pants sometimes.
Sometimes. No, but there's shots of him filming. So
yeah, no, it was a joke.
It
was a good joke.
It was a good joke.
Yeah.
You made me laugh.
Yeah, you're welcome.
It was a funny one, man. All right, tell us about Joan of Arc.
So Baz Luhrmann, whose last film was Elvis, is set to direct a Joan of Arc movie for Warner Brothers titled, I'm not going to pronounce this French correctly, Jeanne d'Arc. described as the ultimate teenage girl coming-of-age story set in the 100 Years' War.
That would be a great role for a young actress.
Yeah, I mean, Joan of Arc is a film it's not like it's never been done before, but it hasn't been done in a long time. So I think this is a really great opportunity to capture an audience that, of course, I think the name Joan of Arc is still known for generations younger than us. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know what schools are like these days. But Joan of Arc, I think, has the potential to be a really fantastic concept or story and subject for a film, and I think that Baz Luhrmann's an excellent choice to tackle this. And Baz, in a period setting, I think is when he's at his best. So this is pretty cool news.
Yeah, I think Baz is just one of the most fun directors. He's got so much flair to his filmmaking, so much energy, and he's great with visual effects. So I think this could be really fun. So
who would you cast as Joan of Arc?
I would go unknown.
I would go unknown French.
I would go unknown.
Yeah, cast a French actress.
Yeah, absolutely. Or I mean, if you want someone who's famous American and can speak French fluently, Lily Rose Depp. But I'm not sure she fits the vibe for the warrior that you would need.
Maybe.
Because Joan of Arc was a badass.
Are you saying Lily Rose Depp is not a badass, Anthony?
I'm just saying I'm not sure I believe her as a badass.
That was Anthony Lily, not James.
Hey, Lily, I'm just being honest. Just being honest.
So don't withdraw from being a patron, Lily Rose Depp.
I'm just being honest.
So The Penguin finally released its first episode.
Did you watch it yet?
I haven't watched it yet.
It was good.
I'll try to watch it tonight.
Yeah, it was good. It was a good time.
And everyone's excited about it. It's getting rave reviews. Everyone's saying, we're back. It's exciting to see the continuation of Matt Reeves' Batman verse and what happened after the end of the film and watching Oz take over the city, basically, for the world of crime. And you enjoyed the episode, yes?
I did enjoy it.
Yes.
It was quite enjoyable.
How would you describe it in like a short review?
The Batman meets Sopranos.
Batman meets Sopranos. Cool.
Yeah, it's a mafia movie.
Yeah.
They are really going full mafia, and I like Oz in this. We got way more characterization of him, obviously, and backstory, and it was really interesting exploring the character because he had minimal screen time in the film, and I think that Colin Farrell is absolutely fantastic. And I mean, obviously the prosthetics help, but like, he just has the characterization down. He's got the performance down. He's got the idiosyncrasies, the voice. He's phenomenal in the role, and I expect absolutely an Emmy nomination for him and a Golden Globe nomination for him.
How do you feel about Carmine Falcone being recast because John Turturro couldn't do the film? He was busy filming another project.
Wait, he couldn't do the film? What film?
I mean, he couldn't do The Penguin. He's doing Severance right now, so he couldn't return as Carmine.
Well, he got killed in the Batman.
Did he?
Yeah, he got shot by the Riddler.
I thought Mark Strong was in the Penguin show.
The Falcone family runs deep. It's the Falcone family is like the Corleone family.
No, I understand.
Yeah, so Mark Strong.
I thought I saw that he was recast.
His death is addressed right in the opening of the show.
Forget what I said.
So there's the Falcone family is going to be like the rest of the cast, his children, and then I guess Mark Strong. I'm guessing
Mark Strong is playing Carmine Falcone, maybe flashbacks or something. But it literally says, I just found it again. Mark Strong replaced as John Turturro's Carmine Falcone.
Oh, maybe there are flashbacks.
Yeah, and see, because he's wearing the exact same wardrobe, has the mustache, the sunglasses, everything.
Oh yeah.
So they'll probably. So if he wasn't in the first episode, I'm sure there'd be flashbacks.
There must be flashbacks, yeah, because the show takes off right after the Batman ends.
No, yeah, I know.
So yeah. I didn't know that. So okay, then they must be doing flashbacks.
That's why I asked.
James asked.
I asked that question because I looked it up.
You researched it.
I researched.
But it's a good pilot. They did a good job. It's fun. It's a good time.
Cool. All right, Anthony. Want to talk about Black Mirror?
I love Black Mirror.
Love. Black Mirror Season 7 is happening, everybody.
They're going to have 6 episodes, and 2 of them will be feature lengths. One of them that is really tantalizing is they're going to make a sequel to the USS Callister, which is one of the best episodes of all time.
The Jesse Plemons episode.
Yeah, and Kristen Milioti, who's in The Penguin.
Yeah.
She's great in Penguin, by the way. She plays Falcone's daughter. I think that was one of the most refreshing, exciting, unique sci-fi stories I've seen on screen in years. And so seeing another version of that sounds really, really fantastic. All of these episodes will be releasing in 2025 on Netflix. Other members of the cast of these films will be Issa Rae, Awkwafina, Emma Corrin, Kristen Milioti, Paul Giamatti, Peter Capaldi, Chris O'Dowd, Rashida Jones, Billy Magnuson, and Tracy Ellis Ross. Bunch of great actors.
Paul Giamatti in a Black Mirror episode. We won, everybody. We've won.
I love Chris O'Dowd too.
Everyone here is fantastic. Yeah. What I love about Black Mirror, it's a great point how you said that episode specifically is one of your favorite science fiction pieces of entertainment.
Stories. Yeah.
Because Black Mirror has always been such a great vehicle for, obviously a lot of these stories could be turned into movies, but they never would have maybe gotten made by a studio because they required maybe too big of a budget or too big of a risk, too big of a swing that they think they'd miss on for box office draw. But now, and I think that Black Mirror is just a great vehicle for really original ideas in science fiction to get a chance to shine that otherwise may have never been told.
And will Jesse Plemons return?
I hope so.
As the villain again.
He's got to return.
Maybe he goes back into the game and he finds them. Like
I can't remember how the episode ended, but
so it ended where they freed themselves and killed him in the game.
Yeah.
And then they were able to actually enter the simulation as just them. They're no longer strapped to him.
Gotcha. But he's in the real world still.
Yeah, so he's still in the real world, and they're free in the simulation. Like they're reborn basically in the simulation.
Yeah.
So maybe he's looking for them. I think that'd be fun.
Could be fun. All right, let's talk about some more stuff. Chad Powers news.
We got Glenn Powell over here.
Oh yeah. Glenn Powell Twisters. So Glenn Powell's new film, Chad Powers, is filming right now. This is the series where it's a series, not a film.
Yeah, I think it's a series.
Follows a college quarterback whose career ends after bad behavior. So he walks onto a struggling Southern football team disguised as the talented Chad Powers, coming to Hulu soon. And we got a new photo of him as in character, not as Chad Powers, but as his original self.
Before prosthetics.
He looks great. He just looks kind of like a douchey sports guy. He's got a diamond stud in one ear and everything. I think it looks great.
Oh, is this going to be a period piece?
I'm not sure.
I wonder.
Why? What do you think year takes place?
I'm just thinking because of like a diamond stud. That's like perfect for 2000s. You know what I mean?
No, this is really still popular right now.
Yeah, I guess.
People still wear earrings.
I mean, I don't really know what's going on with the kids these days.
I don't think you know either. Clearly. Yeah, people haven't worn earrings since the 2000s. Little does Anthony know, every fuckboy has an earring in their left ear.
Oh yeah, I love this. I love the look.
Yeah.
The diamond stud is funny. Yeah, that's great. He's basically like playing Tom Cruise archetypes now. I love it. All right, next up, we got some more news on Alien Earth, the upcoming FX Hulu series from Noah Hawley. He commented on Alien Earth saying it's not just a survival story. Quote, "It delivers everything a great alien movie delivers. Those movies are survival stories, so that's great for 2 hours. But if you want to make a 30-hour plus story, there's going to be a larger dramatic arc, so we can expect a lot more story compared to what we usually get from the franchise."
Oh, he's already planning 2 more seasons with it looks like.
I mean, yeah, he probably, when people pitch shows, they'll pitch like a 3-season arc.
Yeah. We'll see, man. We'll see. I'm curious to actually see a trailer. All we've gotten is a teaser with the reflection of Earth on the xenomorph's forehead.
It will be interesting to see an alien story for so long, like so many hours worth of narrative.
Yeah,
That's
I'm worried
never been
that
done
it
before.
might dilute it a little bit,
Yeah.
but we'll find out soon enough.
Yeah, we'll find out.
All right, let's talk about Ready or Not. The sequel, Ready or Not 2. Samara Weaving confirms she's returning for Ready or Not 2. To quote her, "I'm all in. I think we're all in. I don't know if we've had our blood handshake, but pretty much. So it looks like this movie's definitely happening."
It sounds like they haven't like signed contracts yet,
Yeah.
but they're probably very close.
Getting all the investment together
Yeah.
and the planning. Now, Ready or Not is an awesome horror movie with a terrific ending. We won't spoil what happens at the end, but Samara Weaving can definitely continue the story as the character and the survivor at the end of that film. Obviously, she survives. It's the famous photo of her in a bride's dress covered in blood, smoking a cigarette.
No, that's the opening shot. Man.
Iconic ending. So she the story can definitely continue with her. And I'm just curious where it goes with that direction, and I'm very excited to see what they've come up
Yeah,
with.
I mean, technically, she's part of the family.
Technically now.
You know,
She
so
is.
so it passes on to her, if you think about it.
Yeah, I wonder if she has to do the game.
Yeah.
Maybe she has to run the game.
Better than going to hell, man.
And that's us without spoiling anything.
Yeah.
'Cause that's the trailer, man.
Speaking of trailers, we got a bunch of new trailers this week.
Oh, you skipped the story, dude.
Oh, sorry. I totally skipped my boy Francis.
Megalopolis.
Megalopolis is not looking very good in terms of box office performance, with analysts saying that Coppola's Megalopolis currently has the worst pre-sales for any movie in recent memory, with only 8.8% of 30,000 plus seats already booked for its start date. It's not going to do well. It's projected to make $5 million opening weekend. But it could make more than that. I don't expect this movie making any more than $20 million.
You never know. It could be legs, word of mouth kind of thing.
I think the internet already turned against it.
Probably.
Yeah.
Too much.
It's too late.
This is definitely an experiment to take your own money, over $100 million, being a legendary filmmaker and making your own movie. And obviously, because you're Francis Ford Coppola, you can set up distribution with a distributor. No problem. Most people
No, it took him months to get Lionsgate.
But still, it's Francis Ford Coppola. Because he's Francis Ford Coppola, he could do that. What I'm saying is, that even takes months for someone like him.
Oh, yeah.
But, some random guy named John can't just make a movie for $100 million and be like, hey, can you distribute my movie? It's an interesting experiment of what it's going to perform like. And obviously, we'll see what it's going to be like. I can't wait to see it. We're seeing it on tomorrow night on Monday.
Yeah.
So
IMAX.
I'm ecstatic.
I think that it's it looks so interesting, and it looks like it's challenging, and general audiences might not be looking for films like this anymore. Is the problem.
We'll find out.
Yeah, we'll find out, man.
We'll let you know how it is, guys.
Now, let's get into all these trailers. So, we got a bunch of trailers. Let's start off with Squid Game 2, which gave us a minute-long trailer. Still kind of a teaser. We don't get to see any story beats, but we saw a lot of the Squid Game masked people. I can't remember what they're called.
Maskies.
Maskies. Yes, the Maskies. New games. We have our lead actors back, and it looks like it's going to be bigger, badder, crazier. But again, this is just a tease. You can't really tell much from it, which I think is what you want to do with the trailer. You get people excited. It's the first long-format footage that we've seen of the show, and it's very exciting stuff.
Absolutely is.
Yeah.
We got our first look at Den of Thieves 2, starring Gerard Butler.
Oh, yeah.
And first one's a pretty good action movie. This one should hold up as well.
Yeah, O'Shea Jackson Jr., he's reprising his role as well. I am all in for this, man. I love Gerard action movies. They're not the best stories ever, but they are just badass. They're simple. They scratch that itch you have of old school macho badass movies. There should still always be a place for these kinds of movies, and I think that it's really cool they're making a sequel of this.
We also got a look at Cillian Murphy's Oppenheimer follow-up, his first theatrical release as an actor since winning an Oscar. Small Things Like These just released its first trailer. It takes place in 1985, where a devoted father named Bill Furlong discovers disturbing secrets kept by the local covenant and uncovers shocking truths of his own.
It looks great. It looks incredible. It builds this incredible tension and mystery. And it's a 2.5-minute trailer, but I watched the trailer and I was like, I don't know what this movie's about, but I am hooked, and I really can't wait to see it. It looks like an incredible, tense drama that's going to have a lot of layers to it, and Cillian looks fantastic. It's got a great ensemble cast. Emily Watson looks like she's playing a villain in the movie, possibly. That's my guess. I think it looks really fantastic, and I am looking forward to seeing this.
Yeah, based off the novel of the same name, which came out in 2021. I believe this is an international film. It's not a Hollywood production.
It's an Irish movie.
And it's also produced by Ben Affleck and Matt Damon.
Mm-hmm.
With Ars Equity.
Yeah.
Ars Equity's producing this.
They got in the Cillian Murphy business.
It's a smart business to be in. Next up, we got a trailer for Brothers. This is one we talked about last week, starring Josh Brolin and Peter Dinklage as fraternal twin brothers, right?
Yeah, twin brothers.
And one's a sort of deadbeat criminal who just got out of jail. The other one's trying to live a more straight life, but they get into just all kinds of hijinks.
It looks fun. Glenn Close plays their mother, who's been estranged from them, and they all basically have to team up to commit one final heist. It looks raunchy, funny. Marissa Tomei's in it. I think it was really surprisingly funny, and it looked a lot better than I was expecting, honestly. Next up, we got a teaser for Soderbergh's new film, Presence, in which we just got this slow crane push-in on this house, and there's a bunch of different lines of text telling us about the house, and it finally ends on, there is a presence in this house. presence. Cut to black. I'm in. You had me.
Sold.
You had me at Soderbergh.
Sold. It's gonna be an interesting movie. That movie is also gonna be a fun experiment in filmmaking.
Yeah.
I think
Why?
Well, because it's from the perspective of the supernatural entity the entire time.
Oh yeah.
That's why it's gonna be fun.
Oh, that's why the first image they released is that overhead.
Well, the first, the overhead in the neighborhood of the street.
Okay.
And the first clip they released was like 15 seconds of inside the house just panning while people are walking outside the window.
Okay.
So the whole movie is the perspective of the supernatural entity.
Nice, dude. I didn't watch that clip because I want to walk in blind on this movie. So that sounds cool. Sign me up.
If you want to walk in blind, just close your eyes.
Hey, it works. Have you seen the Terrifier 3 trailer?
I have not.
I watched
I'm scared of these movies, man.
I watched it. It played before The Substance the other day. It looks pretty funny. It looks ridiculous. Low budget horror, and it's a holiday movie. It looks like it's gonna be bloody, gory, really messed up. He is a pretty scary looking character, I gotta say. What's his name?
Art the Clown.
Art the Clown. But it looks very funny. Honestly, it looks like a pretty good time for a holiday movie.
Let's move on to our new poster, which got released for another holiday film, Nosferatu, which comes out on Christmas Day. Latest film from Robert Eggers. This is an incredible looking poster. We have no reveal of the face of Nosferatu in this film. He's wearing what looks like a nice parka, some fur, possibly.
A parka. And
Could be,
you see his long hands and claws. I mean, it's a great.
His hands look enormous.
It's a great poster.
Cannot wait to see this film. Every bit of the marketing is really fantastic already. And it has a log line that says, "Succumb to darkness."
Fuck yeah. Sign me up, man.
Take my money, Robert Eggers. In theaters this Christmas, everybody. Nosferatu. We are going to be eating good in December.
Yeah, man. I can't wait. And in the late fall, we got Gladiator 2 coming out. However, Ridley Scott revealed that he's actually already developed an idea for Gladiator 3. Like, why not,
Let's
man?
go. Fuck it.
Why not? Like, if I was him, I would do the exact same thing. Like, you're the only director who can make, like, ancient Rome epics right now. Why not? Just keep doing it.
Yeah.
Just keep doing it. It sounds like a lot of fun, filmmaking-wise.
That's setting the internet ablaze with hate. Because, Ridley's fallen off. Ridley's not a great director anymore. He's out of his prime. Ridley Scott's gonna, I hope to God, he's still making movies in his 90s.
Yeah, man.
And to 100 years old, making really interesting, massive blockbusters. And I can't wait. I'll be seated for every single one. I love this guy so much. Gladiator 3, I'm fucking sold, man. Gladiator 5, let's go. I'm in. I'm locked in. You know how lucky we are to live in a world where movies exist and people are complaining about a third movie about Gladiator?
Gladiator 6, never stop gladiating.
Fuck it. Let's go.
I think that I just love ancient Rome so much and we never see it on the big screen anymore. I'm just happy to see more ancient Rome.
Yeah, obviously there's a couple TV shows lately, but they
Yeah, I mean,
have
did you
just
see the-
disappeared.
yeah, those
no
about to
one's
die?
watched them and no one's talked about it.
The CGI on that looked terrible.
I have not seen one person talk about those about to die in the last month and a half, and if it was great, they would be talking about it, and
Yeah.
I haven't even been enticed to watch it at all.
Yeah, me either, man. Me either. But I am enticed to watch The Batman 2.
Are you?
Which has finished its writing process. Matt Reeves said they finished the screenplay. It's going to film starting in early 2025. He also said that Oz Cobb from The Penguin, at the end of his storyline will basically be the entry point into the Batman 2, as the movie will jump to a specific period of time. He also confirmed it's going to be set in winter time, but I don't think it's going to be a holiday movie like Batman Returns, like Christmas timey movie, but it will be a winter movie.
Well, it would be cool though to sort of play off Batman Returns and have a Christmas aesthetic.
I think it would be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it'd be awesome.
That'd be pretty fun.
But I'm down for winter. I would love to see, snow on the ground and icicles.
Yay, snow.
You never see that in
Frosty movie.
When was the last time you saw a comic book movie with a certain season?
Iron Man 3.
Yeah, Iron Man 3. Long time.
Long fucking
10
time.
year- 10
and then
years
before
ago.
that, Spider-Man.
Spider-Man?
1, Thanksgiving movie.
Oh, yeah, Thanksgiving, yeah. But, I mean, that's a whole epic. That's, like, the whole year, that movie.
Yeah, no, you asked.
You're right. There's
That Thanksgiving scene's
the
iconic.
Macy's Thanksgiving Parade.
Norman, you can say grace.
Macy Gray.
Yeah.
Remember how big she was for a year?
Yeah, Macy Gray was
She
really
was, like,
big.
the biggest singer
She was so
for a
big
year.
that she was in Spider-Man.
Yeah.
That's how big Macy Gray was. Anthony, what is this Lionsgate AI deal right here?
So Lionsgate just signed a deal with an AI company called Runway. They're going to reshape how Lionsgate produces their content. So there's only so much I could find information on this, but what I could find is that Runway is using their AI software to help Lionsgate figure out what they can make movies out of from the IPs they own. So books, movies, TV show properties, everything that they already own. This company is going to use their AI software to help them come up with film concepts and TV concepts based upon the IPs in their library.
It's like that episode of South Park, the Osimo episode, where
I
Cartman's
am Osimo.
the robot. He's obviously tricking Butters, and he's stuck in this ploy of being Osimo forever. And the movie studio finds him, and he's like, all right, Adam Sandler is like a golden retriever. And
Adam Sandler's a dog.
Adam Sandler's in love with that. So this is basically Osimo, except an AI company for movies.
Yeah, exactly. So they're using Runway to help facilitate the idea building, I guess.
So I guess they're just too lazy to look at what they own.
Lionsgate, just hire us.
Dude, we got you.
We got all the ideas you need.
You don't gotta build AI for this.
Just hire us.
Bill Raiders of Lost podcast, and we will come up with 100 ideas. Let us look at your catalog, which I'm sure is dense. We'll let you know you can make a movie out of. Like, fuck it out. It's not that hard of an... What do you got? 100 books that you can make a movie out of?
They probably bought 1,000 books in the last several years.
Probably,
studios are always buying books and IPs.
Yeah. Or the rights to them.
The rights to them, yeah.
The filmmaking rights. Guys, come on. We don't need AI for this. I know you don't want to pay Greg from Milwaukee to do this, but fucking A.
So this Runway company will go through their entire library of content and IPs.
Let's move on to some Jesus Christ news, everybody.
J Christ.
So we're getting the JCU, the Jesus Christ universe.
That reminds me of Jean-Claude Van Damme for some reason.
The Chosen, obviously the series based about the life of Jesus Christ, will be turning into a cinematic universe. I guess depending on your release, isn't that already the universe?
The Chosen verse.
The Jesus Christ Chosen verse. Well, this verse will include a Joseph limited series, a 3-season Moses series, an Acts of the Apostles series, a Jesus animated series that follows Jesus' interactions with children in the wild, starring Paul Walter Hauser.
Paul.
Oh, my document cut off the L.
Pal Walter Hauser.
Honestly, the L got cut off, so I just read... I didn't know it was going to be Paul Walter Hauser until... It's literally Ron Burgundy, dude. Literally, Ron Burgundy.
I thought the Walter Hauser at least let you know who the actor is.
Because it said Pow cut off, and then the next line was Walter Hauser.
Whatever you type in there, he will read it. Oh my god, that's funny. We need a Judas Origins too.
I know, I'm surprised there isn't one, but maybe Acts of the Apostles will end with Judas's betrayal.
Acts of the Apostles. That sounds like a cool movie name.
But I mean, this has legitimacy because that show is so popular. And
they played in theaters.
Theatrical releases for the episodes.
Yeah, it does really well.
So people I think are gonna like the JCU.
Yeah, people like Jesus, man.
It's a fun. People like Jesus, man. The JCU.
You gotta do the sign of the cross when you say the JCU.
JCU. Pretty fucking funny.
Holy Spirit Origins.
Where did the Trinity come from?
Mother Mary.
I want Mary Magdalene origin story. Mary, it's called Mary Mags.
Oh my god. All right, moving into Cyberpunk is getting an animated series. It's currently in the works at Netflix. I'm sure everyone wants Keanu in it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they'll try to get him, and I wouldn't be surprised if he signs up for it because, I mean, that's a cool role. Obviously, the video game had so much controversy where Cyberpunk, when it dropped a few years ago, everyone was upset because there's so many bugs. It was not ready for its release, but based off a lot of people who have told us about Cyberpunk since then, they've made so many patches and adjustments to it that's ended up being a terrific game. And obviously, it's an IP that's, I think, rich with storytelling. There's so much you can mine from that world.
Yeah.
It's just interesting. It's hot right now. It's the most Blade Runner-esque thing out there, I think, in entertainment, Cyberpunk.
Did you see that viral video the guy made about what guys want?
No.
So it's fucking the
Is
best.
it related to Blade Runner?
Yes.
With Joy?
No. It's the best. It might be the best internet video I've ever seen. So this guy, he's standing in front of a whiteboard, but he's blocking the text on it, right? And he's saying, "There's only one thing every man wants: a cool jacket. It needs to be down to his thighs." needs to be over his collar. He needs to be walking through a futuristic, neon-drenched future city. This is all we want.
That's pretty good. It's pretty accurate.
Oh my god, it's great. I'll send it to you.
I'm literally him. That's why.
It's so funny. It's so true. Guys just want a cool jacket.
That's all we want. We're very simple creatures, man.
We want a cool jacket and a sandwich.
That's
it.
We'll be happy forever. Like a good sandwich. Nice.
If your lady makes you a sandwich without you asking for it, she just like delivers it to you. Oh man.
Or if your guy makes you a sandwich.
Yeah, if your guy.
Yeah.
So it was a great Bill Burr joke. He said one time he was like cleaning out the garage and then his wife just handed him a sandwich that she made. He didn't ask for it. She just made it. And he said he broke down in tears. He said, to this day, I still think about that sandwich.
Yeah, that's how easy it is for pleasing a man.
That's it.
Just randomly bring us a sandwich,
Yeah.
and we will love you forever.
Mm-hmm.
It's all right.
You just had a Bill Burr laugh.
It's the Boston laugh, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
Coming off of Beetlejuice, we have the next continued collaboration between Tim Burton and Jenna Ortega. We got our first look, a first teaser, and some behind-the-scenes stuff of Wednesday Season 2, which a lot of people are very excited about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still haven't seen the first
I haven't seen
one
it either.
But good for them.
I mean, yeah.
I'm happy for them.
I mean, it's Wednesday.
Yeah.
34-year-old guys, like, Wednesday's not exactly what I'm going to watch.
Yeah.
I don't watch that many TV shows. Like, I just started watching Fallout.
Yeah. But, I mean, any 34-year-old guy can watch Wednesday. There's nothing wrong with that.
I'm just saying. It's not
our
for
cup
me.
of tea.
Yeah, like,
it's not our cup of tea.
if I'm going to watch a show, which I don't I'm doing Fallout now.
Yeah.
Also, I started watching that zombie show.
Oh, what did you watch it?
I'm halfway through
Darren
it.
Brown Apocalypse?
Darren Brown Apocalypse.
Where did you stop?
After the end of the first segment.
Oh my god!
Because it's basically 2 episodes morphed into one.
Yeah.
And Anthony was telling me about it on Letterboxd Recap. In case you missed that episode, this guy Darren Brown from England, this entertainer and illusionist and hypnotist, creates these great television events where he tricks a normal person into believing something that's fake but outrageously could be real. And this one, Darren Brown Apocalypse, he tricks this guy who takes his life for granted into thinking there's an actual zombie apocalypse and he's a survivor in a quarantine zone. And it's just to make him feel like he's trying to motivate him to make his life worth living versus taking everything for granted. I'm halfway through it. This guy, it's so crazy to watch because it's a reality show.
Yeah.
Filmed cinematically kind of, but you can tell it's real because it's not acting because the way he's acting is shockingly authentic to real life and human behavior.
That's why. So in this episode, he literally convinces this guy a zombie apocalypse is happening, and they have huge amounts of resources, millions of dollars to create sets, explosions,
hundreds of extras,
hundreds of actors involved. They're either playing zombies, they're playing panicked citizens. So they create a real and believable world around this guy to make him truly think that there's a zombie viral outbreak happening, and it's a remarkable piece of television because my biggest takeaway was I'm watching because we've seen these movies 1,000 times, outbreaks, dystopian, zombies, or whatever. It was so interesting to see real behavior in these situations, and like we always say, the great actors understand that there's minimalism in performance because people do not often show outwardly how they're feeling, and oftentimes people will be panicking inside, but their face will be straight. Like did you see the bus?
Yeah.
He's just like sitting in a seat like this.
Yeah.
But if it was a movie,
but you can tell he's terrified. Yeah, scared
exactly.
Out of his mind.
But if it was a movie, the actor would be like,
Dude, when at first I was like, maybe it's not real, but I believed it pretty much the whole time, especially in the back of the ambulance after they escaped the hospital in the ambulance. I've never seen someone breathe so hard in their life, so hard and fast in their entire life. His heartbeat must have been going like 200 beats a minute.
Just wait, man. It gets crazier than that. That's like just scratching the surface.
It's so good.
Wait until the actual zombies show up.
Oh my gosh.
It's insane. Just wait until the next scene.
I just saw Infected, but I'm looking forward to seeing the zombies.
Oh my god, man. Just wait. I
can't wait to see how it ends. But at the end of the day, it's about showing this man life's worth living. Don't take everything for granted. You have so much potential. You know, we're all so lucky to be alive. If we're healthy, we're so lucky to be healthy. And it's just, I think it's going to be a really special message at the end.
Then I won't spoil it, but it actually had a very positive effect on this guy's life.
I bet. I think it would have a positive effect on anyone's life. Fucking insane. But yeah, Derren Brown, Derren Brown.
Darren Brown Apocalypse is this episode. Get out of
Holy
here.
hell,
There's
so
a
good.
fucking mosquito
All
in
right,
here.
there's a big shakeup at Disney Animation. Anthony, what's going on there?
Jennifer,
Anthony's on the ground at Disney headquarters right now. We're checking with you.
Jennifer Lee, the former head of animation, has just been replaced as Chief Creative Officer of the Walt Disney Animation Studios by Jared Bush. Jennifer Lee will go back to filmmaking full-time as a former filmmaker, as she helps steward the Frozen franchise's future, whereas Jared Bush will now oversee all of Disney's animation.
I wonder if part of her package was, all right, I'll leave, but you have to fund a movie of mine.
Give me Frozen.
That's what I would do.
Give me 5% of Frozen's gross.
Yeah. So she's going to be directing Frozen, it looks
I'm
like.
not sure if directing, but handling.
producing,
Yeah,
yeah,
basically
VPing probably.
the producer of the Frozen franchise.
That's a good franchise to be a part of because it's very lucrative.
Which sounds like they're probably doing Frozen verse.
Yeah?
Yeah, the Frozen franchise, I'm sure they're going to do a couple of spin-offs.
Yeah, we'll see. But I mean, the franchise because of sequels.
Oh, yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's the third one's
Olaf's
coming.
going to get his own movie.
Olaf Origins.
Olaf Origins.
Frozen Apostles.
No, the Frozen Empire, Olaf.
The FCU.
Back to more Jesus stuff. So
You didn't book them together.
outside of the JCU, the Jesus Christ universe, we have The Passion of the Christ 2
What? No way.
is going to happen. It starts filming in early 2025, and Jim Caviezel will be returning as J. Christ.
Wow. Is Gibson making it?
I doubt it. I don't know. I have no idea, though.
Let me Google. Let me just see. I mean, it would make sense if he's making Passion
Yes.
of the Christ.
Insanely
2.
successful movie, the first one.
Yeah, Gibson's writing, directing, producing.
Oh, that's pretty
yeah.
cool.
Wow. It's the most successful self-financed film ever of all time. That movie grossed $600 million.
That's right. He funded it all
He
himself.
funded it all himself, and he pocketed I think half of its gross. $612 million box office return.
Holy crap.
Nobody would give him money for it, so then he just put up, I think, $30 million himself to make it. Yeah, $30 million budget. Oh God, I like it when I'm right sometimes. I was right on the fucking money. $30 million. Thank you.
Oh, roughly $30 million. That's as expected. $30 million.
Oh yeah.
IMDb is in function.
All right, next up, the Australian Office remake has. Hold on, I don't know what the story is. Tell
Okay,
me.
so-
You wrote oof.
That's
what does
just like
this
an
mean?
expression to say.
Okay.
Oof, like ugh. So there's a remake of The Office happening outside of America, which is happening, but there's one in Australia that remember we talked about a year ago. The trailer has been released,
Oh.
and all I have to say is we have to insert a Michael Scott wincing gift. Like, oh goodness,
It's gonna air
goodness.
on Prime.
It's on Prime. Releases on October 18th. It is getting destroyed by all walks of life on the internet.
All right, I have fan reactions. Okay, this is random fan reactions to the trailer. Who approved this? If this is the best you got for the trailer, the show is doomed.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what the motivation for this is. Was there a meeting where Prime said, we need to do our own version of a 20-year-old show, remove everything that made it funny, replace the funny bits with stuff that isn't funny, have cartoon characters as the cast, and then cut the worst trailer possible for it? All right. Keep in mind there are multiple international adaptations of the show, but doesn't look like I'm gonna watch this trailer once we're done recording.
Watch
I'm
the trailer;
curious.
it's pretty cringe. They're just trying too hard. They're trying way too hard to be The Office, and I think it looks like for me, not only is it unfunny looking, but they can't find they don't have their own identity as a show. They're trying too hard to be The Office.
There's like a Dwight looking character, but that's their
so
Dwight.
One of the actresses plays the Dwight, but it's the same.
Yeah.
It's like Dwight. It's based
Yeah.
on Dwight. They talk about how she has wild birds or something. I don't know.
And then there's the Jim character for sure. I
Jim
see.
character.
Yeah. Where's the thing is like the American Office, like a lot of the characters they were so great because of the people who played them, and they created that iconography of each role.
Yeah, sure.
You know what I mean? Like
But-
Creed's great because it's that guy who plays Creed.
Yeah. Creed.
Yeah, Creed.
Yeah. The thing with that is not all the characters were fully developed in season 1 or 2.
Yeah.
It took a couple seasons to get there. So, but they still had a great start. They had a great foundation with that show.
Yeah.
And season 1 can be cringe, but it turned into one of the best comedies of all time.
There's still some good episodes in there.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah,
Prison Mike's in season 1.
Prison Mike is not in season
No?
1.
Well, CPR, the CPR episode.
CPR is not in season
Wait,
1.
what? No.
You are way late. So Prison Mike is when the other office comes and joins when Jim comes back to the office.
Is it that late of a character?
Wait, no, it's not. No, that was the second time. It's not that late.
Huh.
Prison Mike, I think, would be season 2.
I'm thinking of Diversity Day.
Diversity Day is, I think, the first episode.
Yeah, Diversity Day is the third episode.
Yeah. What's the pilot? Do you have it right there?
The pilot, like the
first episode. It's Mike introducing us to he's talking to the camera, checking out the office. Basically, I can't remember what the plot is though. But Prison Mike's definitely later.
Yeah.
But not when Jim comes back. That's season 3 when Jim comes back. Okay. So I think Prison Mike would probably be season 2. It's when they get.
It's season 2. It's definitely early.
It's definitely early. Yeah, it's season 2 when they get new employees. I'm pretty sure, because that's when one of the employees they find out someone leaks it that he went to prison.
Yes. Okay. So episode 1 is Diversity Day.
Yeah.
Episode 3 is basketball. That's a great episode. I mean, that's an 8.2 on IMDb. Diversity Day is an 8.1 on IMDb. Hot Girl is episode
Amy Adams.
5.
Amy Adams.
Episode 5. Okay. There's so the pilot they shot ended up being the 6th episode in the first season.
Which episode's that?
Oh, this is just a ranking. My bad. This is just a ranking. So Diversity Day is not episode 1.
Prison Mike is until season 3. I was right.
Season 3.
It is when they come back.
Oh my god.
It's when the offices combine.
Yeah.
Because remember that everyone gets their goodie bag. That's what it is. So I should have trusted my office.
You are an office expert.
Yeah.
That is true. So, I mean, you'll quote the deep tracks. Even I've seen a lot of The Office. Even I'm like, what the fuck did you just quote? You're like, when Creed says blah blah blah. I'm like, what?
But yeah, there's no way the Australian show will come close to The Office.
It's
and
impossible.
It'll probably be canceled after one season.
It's impossible.
They should just not do it. Literally just make a new show. But that is what it is. That's the world we're living in, on constant remakes.
I'm going to watch this trailer. I'm very curious.
We have what looks like to be a new potential Fast and Furious franchise is my guess, because Matchbox, the toy cars we had growing up, is getting a movie. And John Cena is going to be the lead in the live-action Matchbox film from director Sam Hargrave, who directed Extraction.
Okay.
My guess is they're trying to make a new Fast movie. Matchbox.
I'm sorry.
We needed this.
I wasn't expecting that story. Sorry.
Surprise, surprise.
Okay, guys.
You can't see me.
We got video game movies and toy movies. That's the future of big
Hollywood.
blockbuster Hollywood.
That's it.
That's it.
That's what we got, guys.
A Matchbox.
Our final bit of news has to do with this remarkable-looking documentary. And the trailer, just seeing it in theaters, made me come almost to tears. I was just holding them back.
The way you worded it, it made me come. I was like, what?
I should not have put almost in between come and tears.
It just made
Sometimes they're connected, Anthony. The lowest lows of
you
your life.
worded it so strange.
The lowest lows of your life. Those two can come into connection at the same time.
Which one comes first? Sometimes it depends.
Depends, man.
So it made you come almost to tears. Tell us why.
I was almost brought to tears in theaters seeing a trailer for Superman, the Christopher Reeve story. This incredible looking documentary, so emotional, about the life of Christopher Reeve. Obviously, young actor, gets the Superman role, but then obviously has a horrible disease and becomes paralyzed.
He fell off a horse.
But I thought he developed a disease from that.
He got cancer, but he
got a disease.
Yeah, but he fell off a horse and broke his back.
Yeah, fell off a horse. Yeah. They show the footage of him falling off that horse.
Oh, man.
And it's a really tragic sequence, but it talks about and covers his life after the injury, after being paralyzed, after the disease, and dealing with it, and how, even though he played the strongest character of all time, he was a broken man, but used just his will and his humanity to build himself back up and set himself as a shining example of perseverance. And it just looks sensational, and it's a remarkable story, a tragic story, but wow, what a silver lining though, to be able to motivate people to walk again and to get through horrific things in their life. It's really powerful.
Did you know he was best friends with Robin Williams?
Was he really?
They went to drama school together.
Oh, no way.
And they remained like brotherly friends until he died. Like, there's so many photos of them together. They were just
yeah, because they were talking about Robin's in the trailer. That's
Yeah.
right.
Oh, is he in the trailer? He must be.
I saw him in
Yeah.
the trailer, and I think I remember seeing something about how Robin would come visit him in the hospital.
Yeah.
And make him laugh.
And Robin was the first person who visited him. If I remember correctly, the story goes that he was the first person that went to Christopher Reeve in the hospital after his injury, and he impersonated a German doctor. You're trying to like do some crazy like surgery on him or something.
That's amazing.
Just to make him laugh. And Reeve said it was the first time he had laughed since the injury happened.
Yeah. Wow. Man, it looks really good. I can't remember. I'm sure if you've been to AMC or a major theater lately, you've probably seen a trailer for this, but
I've only seen the Smile 2 trailers 64 times.
It almost made me come to tears.
No, it made you come.
Almost to tears. I came almost to tears.
Dude, my fucking brain just... when you said that...
Sometimes words don't come well out.
It's been a long day. We had a long day.
Yeah, we interviewed Todd Phillips. Met a lot of people today. Brains fried. Lots of energy drinks.
It was that you're still not over Mad Eye Moody staring at you.
I'm not.
Saying hi.
I'll never forget that. It's vividly imprinted in my brain forever.
It was like watching. It was really like watching like a unicorn walk through the hallway. Everyone in the hallway was like,
yeah, because I didn't know he was even there yet. Because we were just told we're just interviewing Todd.
Well, yeah, it was
but
cool.
The sign was on the wall.
So we were so it's basically in a hotel floor, and the marketing team had a bunch of. They just have the entire floor, rooms and suites for different parts of the junket. And so they brought us to a room to sit in chairs waiting for our interview. The room ahead of us had a sign that said Brendan Gleeson on it. And then the room right next to me, there was a sign that said Joaquin Phoenix on it.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck, oh my, this is crazy. And
Almost big enough to get that.
So we got there at the tail end of Gleason's interviews because he left when we got there.
Yeah. We were sitting down for 2 minutes, then Brendan Gleeson walks out of the door. And
we were like, what the fuck? This is crazy. This is crazy.
Yeah. Man, what a cool looking guy. Mad Eye Moody, right in my eyes. Fucking hell,
He seemed really nice.
He seemed very happy and jovial.
Yeah, he seemed like he was just chilling.
Having a good time.
Yeah.
I mean, he's terrific in the movie, too. And Brendan Gleeson has a huge role in Joker, too. I'm really excited for everyone to see that movie. We can't recommend it enough. And, again, we'll post the interview as soon as we get permission to. About 8-10 minutes of chatting with Todd Phillips. Very cool, down-to-earth guy. Very
Throwing
happy
it up.
and gracious with his time. Honestly, it felt like he didn't want us to leave the room. He put his arm around Anthony. He's like, "Hey, will you guys leaving?"
No, he didn't put his arm around. He grabbed my arm.
He grabbed
like a bro.
Yeah.
Like he's like seemed sad that we had to go.
I know. I felt
Yeah.
bad. He seemed like a cool
He
guy.
literally goes, "You guys have to go." We were like, "Yeah, we gotta go." He's like, "Oh man."
We asked good questions. That's why we got a good vibe.
Yeah,
and he was tripped out that we were twins
Yeah.
as well. Everyone's like, "Are you guys related?" We're like, "Yeah, we're
multiple times today."
Yeah, it's because we have such different looks now.
Yeah,
that's
you didn't walk in like a cowboy though.
I was not wearing the cowboy hat. No, I was not wearing a cowboy hat and an open button shirt. I had the belt on though.
You had the buckle, yeah.
But I did not have the cowboy hat on. I gotta, be presentable for interviews, man. I had a good looking knit
If we
shirt.
go to a Western interview or like some kind of Southern movie interview, yeah, I think that's appropriate.
I would have cowboy. I would hold the whole thing on. I have the cowboy.
If we ever
boots.
meet Glenn Powell, you should wear that.
Fuck yeah!
You guys will probably be dressed the same.
Probably. Well, I don't know. His press outfits it depends on the movie he's doing.
True.
His press outfits for Twisters were a blend of sort of cowboy, but also kind of all American.
He does a lot of most of his looks. He has the tank on that you have.
Yeah.
He wears that with the majority of his looks. I guarantee he's had his stylist say, he's probably been like, "This is what I like to wear. Work around that." That's what some actors do.
Midwest Jesus. That's the look.
Midwest Jesus.
Yeah.
He's your Jesus.
I mean, I am very religious, but if Glenn Powell's Jesus, I will be worshiping.
I'm pretty sure
I'll see you at church.
Jesus wasn't blonde. He was not.
I don't think he was blonde at all. I think the Chosen one. The Chosen have figured out what it's a good aesthetic of what Jesus probably looks like.
Yeah.
Looks like a guy from the Middle East.
Yeah, looks pretty close.
Exactly, I think what he probably looked like.
It's absolutely what he looked like. It's not probable. He absolutely looked like that.
I remember one of our churches we used to go to when we were kids. It was just blonde hair, blue-eyed Jesus, just like
the blue eyes.
Cross.
Yeah. That's just from Western civilizations and the
Anglo-Saxon.
Yeah, when they would make paintings or statues of him, it would be based upon what they looked like. You know. That's where it came from.
Leave Korean Jesus alone. He's busy with Korean shit.
What's that from?
It's from 21 Jump Street.
Yeah, Korean.
And then the sequel, headquarters is inside the Korean church.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man, that's a good one.
Fucking hell. Okay, that wraps movie news. Again, stay tuned for Joker 2 interview. Drop that as soon as we can. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode. Tomorrow, we're dropping an episode, a 3-hour one, on the 90 best movies of the 1990s.
Finally, we did it, guys.
We love these decade episodes. People rave about them and are always requesting them. 1990s is full of it's going to shock you how many bangers, just alone in 1999, but the rest of the decade, so many great films.
It's packed.
I mean, we're talking about Goodfellas, Seven, Fight Club. It's
Heat.
an incredible list.
Dumb and Dumber.
Can't wait to talk about that. It's a long episode. Definitely put it on for when you're doing all kinds of stuff, because it's going to be a long edit for me. I got to edit that today.
Have fun.
But I'll get it done.
You can fall asleep to this one. We'll go to sleep to the voices of us.
Yeah, it is a pretty fun one, too.
Yeah.
I had a good time. Lots of energy. We talked about the worst movies from the 90s as well as our favorites as kids. But don't miss that one, as well as on Wednesday, we're doing an episode on
Rosemary's Baby.
Rosemary's Baby. It's almost spooky season. We got to start decorating the set, too.
We've never done content on Rosemary's Baby.
That's a damn shame.
Yeah, so we're going to change. It's one of my favorite horror movies, so it's going to be great.
All right. Thanks, everyone. Take care.
See you next time.